What's up, everyone? Janitor Jake here. Now, this is a little bit different. You guys are usually used to seeing me sitting right here talking about stuff, but this is going to be a little bit of a different video. Basically, I'm just going to be going around doing basically this is just a filler video. I'm going to be going around just doing like a quick room tour, showing you the nerd room or whatever you want to call it, retro room. And tell you guys what's going on. I'm making a video right now, but having some problems with it. Got to do some extra stuff, and so I figured, well, what the heck, this is just a filler. Figured I'd just go around and show you guys what's in this room, stuff that you guys aren't used to seeing. Usually everyone sees me sitting here. This is about where the camera is at. Once in a while I might be pointing that way or pointing that way. But so basically we're just going to get going and start over here. And first thing we see, great big leather trench coat. I'm actually using it because me and my friend Chris, who's another amateur filmmaker like myself, we've been making movies for a long time, for years now. And one movie in particular we're working on, my character actually is supposed to wear a trench coat, or supposed to be wearing a leather coat or jacket, and I happened to find this leather trench coat, which works out great for my character, and it was cheap enough. We ended up buying it. There's enough money in the film budget too that I didn't really have to pay out of pocket. So that's what we got right over here on the door. Over here got the old Spitfire backpack. This thing I got, I think 15 years ago or 13 years ago or something. I think about 13 years ago we got this. Thing's still in great shape. After 13 years, the only stuff that's wrong with it is that kind of started ripping. And a lot of these zippers have these ropes stuff on them. A couple of those have fallen off. Other than that, this backpack is awesome. And people might be wondering, well, you have to be a skateboarder to have that stuff, or you're a poser. Well, I am a skateboarder, actually. That's actually why I bought it, to actually hold my board too. So over here, of course, we got the typical posters. Got that, I think I won that at a carnival a long time ago when they didn't have anything good, so I just picked that thing. Guitar World poster, because I'm a guitarist as well. And a lot of these things have just been hanging up here for years. Passion of the Christ poster. I think my mom gave that to me a long time ago. Got that hanging up. Yes, I am a Christian. Another Christian poster thing I got years and years ago when I was a kid. Hanging up there. Coed and Cambria. Grew up listening to them. High school. Went to see them live. Pretty good band. Taste of Chaos Tour 2005. Back in high school. All the bands we used to listen to. Census Fail. Static Lullaby. Killswitch Engage. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't even know why they put Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. If you've seen the original film, it's just called Raiders of the Lost Ark, not Indiana Jones. Metallica, old school Metallica. I'm going to swing back around over here where I have my old original Ghostbusters backpack representing a proton pack. Pretty rough shape. I actually found it out in the backyard of my dad's place, digging around out in the woods, and it was buried. I don't know how it got out there, just a bunch of junky stuff, and it must have got caught up and buried, but I'm glad I found it, even though it's terrible shape. I don't even know what these things go for anymore. All this old Ghostbusters toys are expensive to get, so if I wanted a good one, it probably cost me about $50. This thing I got at a RetroCon out in Pennsylvania. Me and a friend took a trip out there. Basically, we don't have any conventions up here where I live. Live way up north, northwestern Wisconsin. Nothing happens up here. Heard about an awesome convention, RetroCon out in Pennsylvania. Debated on going or not. I had the money, but I didn't know if it was worth it. And then I heard the Angry Video Game Nerd was going to be there, so I said, alright, let's just go. Be a fun time. California Raisin with some more. This is all just a whole bunch of toys that I had growing up with. Battle Trolls, if anyone remembers those things. A lot of people probably remember the typical little trolls that everyone had growing up. But these were kind of like the boys version. Got a couple more. I don't know whatever. I think I had almost the entire set, but I don't know whatever happened to them all. I got him and I got Officer Patrol. Still surviving. And of course Pac-Man. It works, but it won't work if you actually put them down. Gears are getting pretty worn out. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, you know, Star Wars, Splinter, you got the Alien, Darkwing Duck, WWE, back then it was WWF, Legion of Doom, an old Batman, the Dark Knight lunchbox I actually used to bring to school with me when I was in like first grade. Batman thing I've had since I was a little kid, first grade. Thing I got from RetroCon, one of those flyers, PopCon. And then, yeah, down here, this is where my recording studio. This is where I do my Janitor Jake stuff. This is a new episode I'm working on, the Fright Night 2 New Blood review. And, that's kind of why I'm making this filler video, because I'm spending so much time on this doggone review. And main problem is that a lot of people might be thinking, oh well, you're just lazy and you can't get this stuff done because you're lazy and you're a bum. Well, that's not the case. Basically, I need, kind of like my last review, the Janitor Jake reviews Fright Night. From what everyone's seen, you know, I had a guy who played a vampire. The makeup that we did took a long time. We started at 9 o'clock at night and we didn't finish doing the makeup until 1. That was 4 hours. And that was just one person, and he had like 5 seconds of screen time. This one, I need 3 men and a woman. The 3 guys, I need to have them play a werewolf, a zombie, and a vampire. And the female, I need to have her play actually, I need 3 guys and a girl. I need the 3 guys, I need to have them play a werewolf, a zombie, and a monster. And the female, I need to have her be a female vampire. For those that have seen Fright Night 2, the original, the main vampire character was a female. And she had a group of bad guys to help her out. And so that's kind of what I want to do, have a group of bad guys and the female vampire. Only problem is, I can get the guys to play the parts, but trying to find a female is pretty much impossible. The only time I can find a female, generally, is a female who won't fit the part. Yes, as an independent filmmaker, and you can ask any filmmaker this, the person also, not only do they have to know how to act, but they also have to look the part. I need a person that would be able to portray a vampire and be attractive doing it, and that's impossible up here. But I'm working on it, and we'll see what happens with it. It's getting done, as you guys can see. It's getting there. So let's look at this for a second. But yeah, it's getting there. So down here, we got this old Monster Jokes and Riddles book. I remember reading that thing when I was a little kid, 1 year old something. I think it was made in the 70s. Beekman's World. Got this book in school. Of course, sitting on top of it are these old watches I had since I was a little kid. Darkwing Duck watch. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. They don't work. I have to put batteries in them to test them out, but otherwise they're just sitting there. Other typical stuff, microphone for recording audio. That's another thing about filmmaking is I don't just put the camera down and hit record. I actually have a huge elaborate lighting system that I do. And now for this new video, we're working on audio. My friend Chris actually has an audio recorder, costs about $200. I want to try to get one myself. We actually hooked up that mic to it, and from what we've gotten so far, it sounds awesome. Way better than recording with a mic on a camera. Sounds really good. Some more stuff here from RetroCon. Some random flyers and nonsense stuff that we picked up. Angry Video Game Nerd. He was doing an autograph session over there, and he was just giving these away for free, so I just took one. It's got his autograph in there too. It's for his new movie coming out. He actually had a trailer screening of it, which we couldn't make because I had to work. The Abbott and Costello drinking glass. Definitely probably my favorite duo of all time. You know, I think these guys, when people ask me who's better, Abbott and Costello or Three Stooges, I'm by far Abbott and Costello. No doubt about that. Absolutely love watching these guys. Another glass here. A lot of this stuff too I pick up at thrift stores and junk stores. Muppet Christmas caper. Back here, got this as a door prize from RetroCon. Because we pre-ordered, I pre-ordered tickets, and when I got there, because I pre-ordered, you get like 1 or 2 free door prizes, and this thing's a magnet. Pick that out. And this thing, if you can hear it, it was an old Super Mario Bros. 3 cart that just didn't work. And I thought, boy, that'd be cool if I could turn it into a clock. And I did. I actually had this old clock sitting around. Took the parts off and stuck it on there, but the clock was actually pretty cheap. As you can see, the hands actually broke off it. So I'm going to try to get that fixed again. I think it'd be pretty cool to have an old NES cart turned into a clock. I think that'd be pretty sweet. And then, of course, we got these guys, the plush figures, or whatever you want to call them, dolls. Picked these up at RetroCon too, when we were down there. Then, of course, we got the original NESs in their original boxes, and yes, these are complete. This one is my first boxed set that I picked up. I actually picked this one up flea market and a whole bunch of other stuff for a pretty good deal. So of course there's a couple things missing in there, but I think I got almost all of it complete. I think I threw in a card of Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt. Of course we got this, a control deck, which is complete. It has the original plastic and everything too, which is, I really like that. The power set, which it has the power pad in there with the power pad box. Everything works. I like collecting stuff that's complete in the box too, as much as I can. Of course, I don't go on eBay. A lot of people probably go on eBay and buy a bunch of stuff. I don't generally like to do that because, you know, anyone can have a huge collection if they're rich. One game in particular I'm looking for, which over here on the wall, which I'll get to later. One game in particular is Dragon Warrior 4. I could easily go on eBay and buy it, no problem. But I don't want to spend that kind of money if I can go to a garage sale or something and buy it for 25 cents. That's one thing I like doing. Another find I got here is for the NES. The acclaimed double shot wireless remote. Not in the original box, but found it at an old gaming store going out of business and thought, ah, what the heck, I'll pick that up. Never had one. NES 4 score in the box. Picked that up too at that same gaming store. And then we got Super NES cleaning kit, which I picked up from a friend of mine. Me and him usually do game trades. He'll bring a bunch of stuff, I got a bunch of stuff, and we trade. And of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Of course, we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles complete in the box. Brought that to RetroCon, had it autographed by Angry Video Game Nerd. And the original Nintendo Power, the very first issue. Usually keep it there, and it is complete. It has the poster, it has everything. It's pretty much mint condition. It's really great condition. That's one of my, I guess you could say it's another prized possession right there. Pretty good shit. Those suckers, these things get pretty expensive too after a while. I don't even know what this goes for now, especially since Nintendo Power's out of business. They've had their final issue this summer, so I'm sure that sucker's gone up in price. And then, of course, Beavis and Butthead, another duo of mine. Awesome duo. And then down here we actually got Bart Simpson poster. Picked that up at a thrift store. And down here we got the bed with a bunch of junk on it that as of right now I really don't know what to do with it. This is all stuff I just recently went to a Comic-Con, comics and toys convention. About a 6-hour drive. Wasn't as bad as going to Pennsylvania. That was a 20-hour drive. And right now I got all this stuff and I literally don't really know where to put it. I don't have much room to put it anywhere. I actually have to have a house. I need to have a house that's big enough for like a full-sized family. A mom, a dad, and they're like 3 kids. I need a full upstairs, a full basement, everything. Just to have enough room for all my stuff. Because half the stuff that you guys leave in, all the stuff you guys see in here, take like half of that and put it somewhere. Like I have a lot more stuff that's not even here. It's actually stored in a friend's garage because I have no idea what to do with it. So, I'll start over here with some pickups I got. I actually found this Garfield pillowcase. I'm going to turn up the exposure here because you can't really see too well. I actually picked up this Garfield pillowcase from a thrift store. Found it in just a big bin of pillowcases. Snatched that up. It's actually from 1978. While I was at a garage sale, I picked up this pillowcase, California Raisins. And at that same garage sale, I picked up the Superman pillowcase, which is actually in great condition. Colors are, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but the colors are really bright and really vibrant. And this pillowcase is also from 1978. Old Tweety pillow I got from a thrift store for pretty cheap. And when I found the Garfield one, I actually found Garfield sheets later on. The fitted sheet and a regular sheet. So that was a pretty cool find. I love Garfield. Always watched that growing up. Of course, you can't see it now, but you've seen it before. It was my Rugrats blanket, found at that same thrift store. Got it for really cheap. And that was a pretty cool find. Then I found this. It's a big thing of sheets. It's a mixture of Alf and old school Simpsons. I'm not sure what year, from 89 or 90 I think is the Simpsons one, so I can't really remember. This I picked up at the Milwaukee Comic Con. the Sega Master System. Never owned one. Had the Sega Genesis. For those that don't know, this thing came out before the Sega Genesis. Controllers are definitely different. But, yeah, I never owned one. They came with some games and it was pretty good price, so I picked it up. But, yeah, what the heck. And over here, brand new thrift store just opened up in town. Got to talking with the guy. There's an Atari under here. Atari 2600. It's I don't think it's the heavy sixer, it's a light sixer. Still got the 3 switches on each end. Had some games and a ton of controllers. Got it for a pretty decent price, so I picked that up. The U-Force complete in the box, and it is complete. Has the instructions, has all the accessories. It's really awesome find. My dad actually picked that up at an auction. I wasn't able to make the auction. Wish I would have, but anyway, he was there and he bought this and a whole bunch of other stuff, gaming stuff, so that was a pretty cool find. Just actually found this stuff today, Looney Tunes. It's almost like a snow globe, but it's not snow. There's water and there's like gold flakes. But that was a cool find from 1996. And then a whole stack of Beavis and Butthead tapes, which I own the Mike Judge collection on DVD. But originally I found this tape a long time ago. When I watched it, it's crazy. Like pretty much every episode on this tape alone isn't even on the Mike Judge collections. So if you're a big fan of Beavis and Butthead and you've only seen the Mike Judge collection, I would suggest picking up these tapes because there's so many episodes that aren't even on there. And there's like this one is a lot of really old episodes with the animation is a lot worse than the stuff and the voice acting is way different. So if you can find them, definitely pick them up and give them a watch. The Last Action Hero book, just regular book, no pictures or nothing. Picked that up today as well. And this thing I've never even seen before. Super Breakout for the Atari. It's supposed to be a storybook, but it has the record, so it's one of those read-and-hears. I thought it was a pretty cool find too, since I do have an Atari and play it, and that's actually a pretty good game. Then I had some more read-and-hears. Gremlins. Picked up at a thrift store, and it does have the good shape and it's got the record with it. So, and I'm not a big fan of comics. I used to read X-Men comics a long time ago, till they got ruined. I actually had a bunch of X-Men comics. I accidentally left them in my carrying case, which I had an awesome X-Men carrying case when I was a kid. You could put your comics in there, you could put your toys in there. And I had that stupid thing, and I had it, being dumb, I had that thing, and being dumb, I put it on top of the car when we were moving stuff around, and my dad drove off with it, and I didn't realize it, so went outside to get it, to see if it fell off the car, drove around, didn't see it until we got out to the main highway, and there it was, papers flying everywhere, totally destroyed almost every copy I had. But when I heard that the comic convention was there, I figured, well, there's certain comics I'd like to look for. And while I was looking for those specific comics, I ran into comics I didn't even really know they made, like Beavis and Butthead. I didn't know that they actually made these comics. And I picked up 3 of them. And I read them. They're actually really funny. Another set of comics I picked up were Dinosaurs for Hire. I picked up 2 of these. Here's the other one. Dinosaurs for Hire 5 and number 10, which people might not know, but first came the comic books, Dinosaurs for Hire. Then they made the video game, Dinosaurs for Hire, and these comics right here are kind of based off of the video game, since that one says Genesis. And then, of course, the main reason why I was there anyway, what I was looking for is Fright Night comics. I knew they made them. I had a Fright Night comic when I was a little kid, but I'm never really able to find any. Like I said, you can order stuff on eBay, but don't feel like it. Found these for a pretty good price. It actually surprised me that anyone would have them, because at these comic conventions usually it's just like X-Men or Superman and stuff like that, but I actually found quite a few of them. So they are actually pretty good. I read them all. I like them a lot. Then I got The Last of Us, and that's because, as you guys might have seen, I got a PS3 with The Last of Us game. Played the game, I thought the game was awesome, and I actually found the comic books at a comic store down right after we got done with the convention. We're getting ready to drive home, went down maybe about 8 blocks, and all of a sudden, bam, there's a comic book store. So we pulled in there, and they had The Last of Us issue 2 and issue 4. I didn't really want to read these without reading the first one and the third one, so I actually went online, read the ebook version of them, and yeah, they're not bad. Nightmare on Elm Street, which I wasn't even going to get this, but the guy had a deal. It was like 3 for $1, and I just needed like a couple more, so I ended up picking that up, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Magic the Gathering, which I'm really into the game. I play the game a lot. I didn't even really realize they made comics. I know they made books, but picked that up. Got this comic for free when you go there. It's kind of like a door prize thing. Hey, you get a free comic for showing up. Huge bin. I didn't feel like digging around, so I just stuck my hand in there. Saw this was sealed and pulled it out. Still got the postcard in there. I figured just leave it sealed. What the heck. And then I found this, which a lot of people might know. Some of you probably don't. I'm a huge fan of these older TV shows, which right over here, as you guys can see, Mary Tyler Moore Show, seasons 1 through 6, Taxi, Three's Company, Gilligan's Island, Looney Tunes, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You got Alf down there. So I grew up with all these old shows. Taxi, and Welcome Back, Kotter was a good show. And yeah, I found the comic book of it, so I thought, oh, that's pretty sweet. Might as well pick that up. And of course, I got all the other comics that I picked up over the years. Slimer, Ghostbusters, Alf, Atari Force. I got a bunch of Atari Force comics. And that, which is pretty sweet. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. And it's black and white. Then some other old Turtle comics. And typical Secret Wars and X-Men, Wolverine, stuff like that. And then of course over here we got Ninja Turtles, sealed. I have a whole bunch of these movies from when I was a little kid, but picked this up at a thrift store and figured it was sealed. Keep it sealed. Double Dragon cartoon. I found this at the Comic-Con. Never seen it. Figured that'd be cool to add to my collection, since Double Dragon will be a future review. Got these things for Christmas. Star Wars ceramic goblet. Got the Yoda and the Chewbacca one. Probably just leave them in there. Usually I keep stuff like that and display it. And then of course down here we got this thing, which we picked up at the comic convention too. This artist down here. I went there with me and my friend, went to this comic convention. My friend's they have 2 daughters. And they're both big fans of The Little Mermaid. And this guy actually did the original artwork on The Little Mermaid and all these old Disney shows. So we got those, which I still need to bring over to their house. Need to get them framed and stuff too for the kids. And we got Ninja Turtles Pizza Power game. Found, like I said, all this stuff I generally find at junk stores or thrift stores and whatnot. So This is a pretty sweet find. Any Ninja Turtle stuff now is going for big bucks. So that was a pretty sweet deal finding that. Clarissa Explains It All board game. I didn't even know they made one of these, and I got it for $1.50. And compared to eBay, this sucker on eBay goes for 30 bucks. The thing is with eBay, a lot of people might go on eBay and be like, oh, somebody's asking $100, that's what it's worth. No, that's not what it's worth. Don't be stupid. You go to eBay, you type in, Clarissa Explains It All, and then you hit sold listings, and you look to see what people have actually bought it for. And the average price that people were buying it for were $30. Same thing with Jumanji. I had this game when I was a kid, and finally saw it at a junk store and decided to pick it up. Saw this thing at a junk store too, which I thought was pretty cool, in the original Batman movie. And it's just a huge movie poster puzzle. Got another one, but it's at my friend's house, and it's of Terminator 2. So that was a cool find. And we got the big movie shelf and posters and whatnot. Picked that thing up from a friend of mine who was having a garage sale, and he had that there, and really cheap. And I was like, what the heck, I'll buy it. I like the movie. So right here we got the old Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from when I was a kid, and this is the original one that I had when I was a little kid. 1984. Of course, like I said before, angry video game nerd, fan of his, can't go wrong. Him and Mike Matei got their autographs. I got all 5 volumes of them. Right now he has volume 6 out, and volume 7 I think just came out, but picked those up at RetroCon where he was signing his autographs. He had those for sale, got them for actually pretty good price. They gave me a deal on them. And these Stay Puft marshmallows, these are actual marshmallows in here. Got this from the Milwaukee Comic Con. The guy had 2 of them. He said they're $2 a piece. He's like, but for $3, he's like, you can take them both, have one to eat, and keep the other one sealed if you want. So keep this one sealed. Got the other one at my friend's house, which we actually tried. We tasted them. So if you want to know how they taste, get yourself a box. Then we got the Batman thing here, picked up at RetroCon out in Pennsylvania. I have the original toys. These are actually, metal. I had the original toys when I was a kid. I still got them laying around somewhere. But when I was there, I actually found this, and it was complete in the box. Pretty decent shape. And it was an alright price, so I picked that up with a few other things. Of course, Beavis and Butthead vinyl figurines picked up over there as well. Pennsylvania RetroCon. Picked that up at Pennsylvania RetroCon too. DeLorean Hot Wheels car. The old Turtles lunchbox, which I found at a antique junk store type thing, and it has the thermos in there too. So that was a pretty cool find. Loved the old Ninja Turtles growing up. Haven't seen the new one yet, but don't know if I will. And of course, like you guys already saw, these old TV shows that I grew up watching. Running out of room, though I don't really have much room to put anything. Bunch of old VHS. And then down here I got all my filmmaking stuff that I don't really have much room for, so it sits over here out of the way and stuff. People might be wondering, what's that white thing? Why do you got a tub and a cake pan for? And I actually have that because of this. This is my main light that me and my friend Chris use. Me and my friend Chris actually built this thing with the help of a guy off of YouTube named Griffin Hammond, who hosted a show called Indie Mogul for independent filmmakers. And yeah, we built this whole thing. Did all the wiring. And it's awesome. This sucker is bright. I can shut the lights off and make it completely black in here and just turn that one light on, and It's crazy. Super bright. Which is how I'm able to get shots looking a certain way. If you want professional shooting, if you're making a film, you want it to look good. A lot of my old films, I use a stupid camera, a mini DV camera, use tape, and it's all fuzzy looking and looks terrible. But if you have enough lighting and you know how to expose properly and you know filmmaking stuff, you can make your shots look really good. And this helps out tremendously. I mean, it pretty much almost like 100% makes my filmmaking better just having this light. And we got more light set up, which you can see, big mess of wires. And over here we got some albums. Right up top here, Bob and Doug McKenzie. I actually saw their movie originally before I saw their show. Thought their movie was funny. One of my favorite films. And they have the album out, which I picked up from a store. They sold albums and music and just random stuff, and found that there. Then down here we got Back to the Future, which I found at like a garage / estate sale. The guy just had it, you know, you just walk into his house and whatever was there was for sale. And this was sitting on the floor for 50 cents. I was like, I'm definitely buying it. How amazing is it? And it works. Sing Alone, you know, like I said, it sells for 30 bucks online. It's like, wow. Come down here, we got Spider-Man record. So I used to listen to these things when I was a kid in school. I remember being in elementary school, first grade, kindergarten, going into the library, and we'd freak out about listening to this. You'd have a choice of either going and doing something, I can't remember what, or going and listening to the album. If you got to the table, whoever were the first ones to the table got to listen. I remember we'd rush over to the table, and they'd put on a Spider-Man album, and we'd throw on our headphones and listen to it. Thought it was awesome. Then we got Huckleberry Hound and the Great Kellogg's TV show. Always loved watching these guys too growing up. And then down here we got Book and Record Superman, which is actually in really, really great condition. It's like a big, huge comic book in there, and then you can listen to it with the record. Thought that was an awesome find. Then we got some shirts, some clothes back here. This is a pretty sweet shirt that I found, Super Mario Bros. 2. And it's got all this random stuff on the sleeves. Shirt's pretty awesome. Then up top here, way over here in the corner, we got a GameCube and an old NES. PlayStation under here is an Atari Junior. Box is in rough shape, but Sega Genesis Model 2 in the original box. Game Boy, yes, there is a Game Boy in there. Super Scope, picked up at a garage sale. They're pretty cheap. And then the whole stack of Nintendo Powers, which I actually found at an antique store, just chilling for actually a pretty good price. So I just bought them all. I was like, I'm just buying them all for that price. Not too, I mean, they're pretty old. You know, volume 17, 18, 25, 30, 40, stuff like that. So down here we got stuff where I'm running out of room and don't know what to do with it. We got this Buzz for the PS2, sealed, original packaging. And then I got the original Xbox, which I need to clean and fix it. Fix it up, it doesn't really want to read the disc. Then I got this, which was a pretty cool find. Found this at a junk store too. Nintendo carrying case. And then of course down there in that big box is just tons and tons of accessories. NES controllers, Atari controllers, PlayStation controllers, cords, manuals, loose manuals, cases, all sorts of stuff. And then up here, the shelf that you guys all see, of course, Yogi Bear, Daffy Duck, Tom and Jerry. These are all these tin posters or metal posters, whatever. Oh, the worm from the labyrinth. Some people might see it and recognize it, but it's the worm from the labyrinth. The Garfield boxing gloves. The real Ghostbusters comic thing thrown here. I picked this up at RetroCon with this book as well from the guy who actually wrote these books, and he autographed it. And this one. Picked those up at that RetroCon. It was actually the first booth we went to. As soon as we walked in there, he was just right there. And I was like, oh, sweet Ghostbusters, yeah, let's buy it. And of course, the Earthworm Jim action figure. Found that at a junk store. Something new, which I haven't had up yet. I just picked this up in Milwaukee at another one of those collectible junk store type things. They had this just chilling in there. Complete. Sealed. So I bought that. Then we got Alf, and it does have the thermos in there too. Love watching Alf. It's a pretty funny show. I've actually been watching it a lot lately. Then of course we got Ghostbusters toys that I had when I was a little kid, and of course they're all busted. That's why they're kind of shoved back here. Just picked that up. Space Jam toy. Sylvester and Michael Jordan sealed. This thing I got for a birthday a long time ago for my nieces. That was quite a while ago. And I found this at a junk store for a pretty decent price. Flintstones NFL cards, and it is originally sealed. That was a pretty neat find. Of course, as you guys know, the mustard. And then of course the tabs, which I picked up at a motorcycle swap meet. My dad's really heavy into motorcycles, and I actually know a lot about motorcycles when we go to swap meets and buy and sell parts. While I was there, some dude had this thing sitting up there, so I bought that. And so I guess I can show you what's on the other side. No one ever sees what's back here. For the moment of truth, all my filmmaking stuff, a bunch of lighting equipment, tripods, cords, anything in this box, all has to do with my filmmaking and whatnot. And there's just so much crap piled in here, it's ridiculous. There's so much junk in here, it's ridiculous. The cardboard and stuff that I use. Yeah, that's about all it is. Camera equipment way down there. Then of course we get to this big old setup. And then of course we get to this setup. My video gaming collection so far. Yes, I'm still buying. Start over here. We got the boxed games, which is something I'm really into getting. I love getting stuff complete. Not necessarily sealed, because sealed you can't play it. If I could get something, I have a couple things that are sealed, but, like I said, I'd like to actually be able to look at it and play it. Then, of course, regular carts. I don't really have anything too special. Some of my favorite finds were like this Tecmo Super Bowl. Found that at a junk store for really cheap. This I actually got from RetroCon for a really cheap price. The guy like just picked it up, and I bought some stuff from him before when we were talking, and he just picked up a bunch of stuff, and he's like, "Hey, you interested in any of this?" And I was like, "Well, how about that game?" Then he threw out a number, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll definitely buy it." It is complete with the manual and the styrofoam. Really great shape. Over here, we got some games. Nothing really too rare. I think this game is like maybe 15 bucks. I don't know. Generally, regular games are like $3 a piece, except for some of the more rare ones. Now I got Bubble Bobble, Contra, Super Contra, all 3 Double Dragon games. Like I said, I got Dragon Warrior 1, 2, and 3, but I need number 4 to go right in there. Still looking for it. I could easily find it on eBay, but don't really want to do that. So I got Gauntlet up here, and Gauntlet 2 right under that. Other than that, I don't think I really got anything too special. Way over here, though, I do have Pagan Dragon. Had this when I was a kid. Then we move up here, and we got some Super NES games. Star Fox, Turtles 4, Super Mario Kart, Legend of Zelda. We got some good ones in there. Nothing too rare and obscure. I'm glad I kept those Battletoads, Battle Maniacs, and Battletoads Double Dragon. Only got one game complete in the box, and that's this, because I found it for pretty cheap at a pawn shop, and it's in excellent condition. Then we got the Atari games right over here. We got boxed Atari, regular Atari. Comes all the way over to where I got the Atari 7800. So we got the Atari 2600, Atari 7800, and then ColecoVision. And right here, which I don't have, is the Intellivision. These, when I buy stuff, I usually try to buy it in lots, and these came in with the lot stuff, and I don't have an Intellivision yet. Plan on getting it soon now. Some more Atari games down here with the Atari, and we got Atari games in there. More NES games. N64, nothing too special up there. More Genesis games, boxed, not boxed. And of course Sega CD games, and this thing is full of Sega CD stuff. Sega Dreamcast games. Which I got more of them right up there. Then up here is when we're getting into the newer stuff. PlayStation 1. PS2. Right over here is about the time where I'm getting stuff and I'm running out of room, so up here are Sega 32X games. Yeah, the only rare game I got is Colibri for that. That's not, I don't think it's that rare. So, yeah, I got a stack of those. Some more games. I actually picked these up at that comic convention. War Games, Buck Rogers, and under that is MASH. So, Then a lot of more random games, Star Wars for the 32X, Master System games, Sega Game Gear. But yeah, I'm starting to run out of room, so I just don't really know where to put stuff. And of course down here we got the consoles. Of course, yeah. Of course we got the Atari 2600. The old NES. Super NES, the Super Game Boy, because it won't fit on the shelf. N64, GameCube, PlayStation, Dreamcast. Then people might be wondering why I have so many Game Boys. Like I said, I buy stuff in lots, and a lot of times I get a whole bunch of duplicates. I found this for free at a thrift store. This, I got the Game Boy when it came with the case, and it came with a whole bunch of other stuff. Game Gear. Got a bunch of Game Gear stuff in here. And we got this, which is pretty sweet. Sega Genesis Model 1. Of course, it's got the Model 2. Sega CD. 32X. A really awesome game. Pretty expensive though. Pure Solar. It's actually a brand new game. Made in, I don't know if you can read it, but it was made in 2010. From Watermelon, but it's a pretty awesome RPG. And this is probably one of my best finds. Found this at a junk store for a really cheap price. And yeah, it's a pretty sweet find. Made specifically for Sega, because for those that don't know, this uses one of those big fat AC adapters like that. Okay? So this uses one, but also in order to play this you have to have one, and you have to have one for that. So it requires 3 of these things. And so setting it all up is a pain, but with this, there's actually enough room, you can do it. Power pad underneath there. Then of course over here, getting down to the nitty gritty, got my TV. PS2, Xbox 360, PS3, VCR, cable box. Oh yeah, that's it for the room tour here. Pretty boring probably, might be exciting for some of you. Like I said, this is just a filler video letting you guys know what's going on. I am working on the video, it's getting there. I just had problems getting actors and actresses together, but should be getting done. So hopefully this fills you guys in, letting you guys know that I'm still out here trying to make videos. Because that's the thing, is I have so many ideas for videos I want to make. I got a list. The list is actually in there. I have a list of 52 videos. I actually had a plan for 1 video a week. So 52 videos for an entire year. And the problem is getting stuff together. Like I said, I need actors, I need actresses, I need this, I need that. But everything's slowly coming together. I got a brand new editing program. I got more of this extensive lighting equipment, brand new camera. That was the other problem, is my old camera actually used tape, which would take forever. I'd record for an hour, then I'd hook it up to my computer, and then it would be like another hour just capturing the footage, whereas this camera now uses these little memory cards. I just pop the memory card in there and, well, there we go. Transfers right away. So, other than that, yeah, it's pretty much it. Getting my videos done, trying to get everything taken care of. Me and my friend Chris working on stuff, which is awesome. I love having Chris over, working with stuff. For those that know, don't remember, he's the one who played the vampire in my video, Fright Night. Janitor Jake reviews Fright Night. We're working on other movies too. Right now we're working on a movie. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name, so I won't say it. I'll ask his permission if I'm allowed to say it or not. Then I'll just throw it up. But yeah, we're working on a superhero movie. We've been working on this one for years, and we're dealing with the same problems that I'm dealing with, where me and him are into it. Like, okay, me and him are pretty much like the owners of the film, and we need to find actors and actresses that will actually film with us. And we get people that want to do it, and then at the last minute they can't do it, or we'll get somebody who wants to do it, and then they'll film, and then they'll change their hair color, and something will happen. Then we need to get another person. Like, for example, we went through a character named Cass. We went through about 3 different people. We went through one person, filmed a whole bunch of stuff with him. That didn't work out. So now that person's actually playing another part. Then there was another girl we got to play Cass, which worked for a while. Then she changed her hair, then she got busy with doing other stuff. Now she can't play the part. So now we're on to our third person. I think this is our third person. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Chris, but hopefully this one will work out. And yeah, it's a feature-length film, hour and a half. We're hoping, we actually had it on Kickstarter, got some money for it, hit our goal. So I was actually able to buy stuff for it, wardrobe and stuff for the film. And hopefully we'll be getting it done. So keep everyone updated on that film as well. And so yeah, just so you guys know, I have a bunch of videos in mind. I got like 52 right now. And I keep coming up with new ideas. It's just, I got to film them, and I need help from other people, which is why I hate having actors and actresses, because unreliable half the time. Chris is awesome. He can be there for me. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So, once this gets done, once this video gets out of the way, everything else should be smooth sailing, hopefully. So, whatever. I'm Janitor Jake. Thanks for checking out everything here. See ya. Oh yeah, and just so you guys know, sorry about all the rambling. If I'm like, and what today, I mean, a lot of you might be thinking that. This wasn't scripted. I need to get something on YouTube to show them that I'm still doing stuff. So if there's a bunch of rambling and babbling and I sound like I'm confused and don't know what to say, that's just because it was unscripted and I really didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. So I just hit record and started showing you guys everything. So, whatever. Thanks for watching. See ya.